distract him. You take snipping duty.
Your spine will break like this.
Now you don't. That was my favorite arrow. Quiver's not empty yet.
So I got a chance to play a few hours of the Injustice 2 campaign yesterday, and I have to say it's really damn good. A lot of fighting games don't have much of a story. They certainly don't have, really excellent cutscenes with good acting and interesting dialogue. Usually it's kind of some bravado, some kind of annoying bantering back and forth, and then you move on to the next fight. But in Injustice 2, you actually have a pretty interesting story. You've got multiple factions. You've got Superman who's gone evil because the Joker, and I won't go into too much detail there, but it's the story of evil Superman and then Batman leading the resistance against him. But then it's told a lot, largely kind of from after Superman has been brought down, and then some other bad guys come, Brainiac and his faction. So you've got multiple sort of opposing forces in the story. But what's great about it is that it's really, it's beautifully animated, and it's interesting and engaging, and you move from one group of characters to the next. So there's some stuff early on with Oliver Queen and Dinah Lance, so Green Arrow and Black Canary, where they're bantering back and forth, and it's kind of funny, and they've got great chemistry, and I just think to myself, why couldn't we have this on the show? Why couldn't we have a Oliver Queen that actually was humorous once in a while rather than so serious all the time, and a relationship like this that was actually that seemed natural and worked. In a lot of ways, the story so far is better than most of what's coming out of DC in terms of TV and movies right now. And that's, okay, it's a video game story, and it's all, it's got all the characters. It's got, it spans everything from Gorilla Grodd to Bane and Scarecrow and the Swamp Thing and everything. So it's bigger than what you'd see in a movie, and of course it's not really structured like a TV show, but it's really, really good, and a lot of fun. It keeps me invested in the fights more because, of course, you watch the scene, and you sometimes have choices on which character you want to choose, and then you get into the fight. And I've only played single player so far, so that's all I'm going to talk about here. The fights themselves are also really great. I only played a little bit of the first Injustice game. I kind of let that one slip past me. So I'm not going to compare this one to the first game. Sorry about that. Compared to like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and various other fighters I've played, I really enjoy this. It feels very smooth, very tight. Controls are pretty easy. I'm still not very good at this type of game, but I find myself picking this one up, I think, more quickly than usual. It has a very good tutorial, which helps. And of course, each character is a little different. So, you know, as you play through the campaign, you're switching out pretty quickly which character you're playing, and that can make it a little tricky to get a real grasp on all their moves and how they play and how they handle. But I like it. I like, there's a lot going on. I like all the different special moves you can do, the throws, the sort of the move you can do when you build up your entire power meter. Has a great animation no matter which character you are. For some, like the Flash, you race through time and space and you smash your opponent on the Sphinx and then on a dinosaur and then back to where you are. You can also knock opponents out of the arena you're playing in a very dramatic fashion into another arena. And there's lots of environmental items and structures within the environment that you can either use to knock people into or to hit with or to bounce off of. So, you know, in one stage you can hit the character into a statue. You can grab a barrel, you can swing on a vine, lots of different things. You know, none of this is incredibly unique to fighting games, but it kind of added all together, it makes for a very pleasant experience. Really good fighting. So that's, you know, that's where I'm at. I mean, the game looks absolutely brilliant on PS4. You can, on a PS4 Pro, you can play with HDR, and it looks, you know, I've been playing on an OLED screen with HDR10, and it's just gorgeous. It really is. It's a damn good looking game, and you know, everything from facial animations to you know, the actual fighting animations looks great. Very crisp, very clear, very colorful. And what I also love about this, kind of going back to the story, but just sort of the whole thing, what it does so well is it feels very DC. You know, sometimes I feel like the problem with both the new Snyder movies and the sort of new Justice League interconnected universe that Warner Brothers is making, and the CW shows, is that a lot of them don't feel like DC. Like, there's that spirit of the DC comics isn't there. I think Gotham actually gets it pretty right. You know, it's weird. It's a little colorful and dark and a little bit noir and a little bit neon and just kind of this mix of like almost like a freak show feel to it, you know. And you know, that's, I guess, you know, Metropolis and Superman and Supergirl and all that stuff is a little more bubblegum, but a lot of DC is dark and weird and is very different from Marvel. And what Injustice 2 does is it captures that spirit very, very well, at least in the single player campaign and then the characters designs. And there's even some kind of scary bits with the Joker and whatnot. They do a good job. So I'm very impressed, and this wasn't even really on my radar that much because I'm not a huge fighting games player. I enjoy them, and I especially enjoy them when I have someone to play them with. But that's often because I don't really get into the story mode, and here I'm like actually really, I didn't want to stop. Every fight breaks off and is sort of flows right into the next fight. So you get through one and you're like, okay, maybe I'll quit now. But then right away, like something else happens and there's a twist and you want to keep playing. So I ended up only being able to even pull myself away from the game because I died and I was like, okay, I got to stop. If I'd kept winning, I would have probably kept playing. So, you know, that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad problem to have. So I'm gonna continue playing and finish the single player campaign, and then I will move on to some multiplayer stuff and let you know how that is. But so far, I'm totally surprisingly excited about this game. I'm really excited to keep playing the story mode. So thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of the game if you've played it. And if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. As always, appreciate you watching. Don't forget, I'm giving away a copy of the Dark Souls board game. I will link to that at the end of this video and in the description. So if you want to win the Dark Souls board game, that is a thing right now. All right, peace.
Running a little slow, Flash.
Retirement will do that to you. What's with you, Lawton? You should be fighting this invasion.
Got no choice. Grodd put a nano explosive in my head. His paws on the trigger. So whether I like it or not, I gotta do Grodd's dirty work. You're not bulletproof.
Bet you didn't see that coming.
Retirement?
Not when I'm stopping guys like you. I know. It's just business.
Grodd said you couldn't resist a good crisis.
Eobard Thawne? You don't belong here.
And miss the return of Barry Allen? From the future to hurt you, Barry. But this timeline, it's all wrong.
So go back to your own time, Reverse Flash.
Think I haven't tried? Your regime buddies killed one of my ancestors. Now I'm trapped in a paradox. I can never go home. At least I can hurt you! I am the fastest man alive.
red blur, isn't it? Too fast for you? Don't know how many more reunions I can... Al? No, not today.
Nice to see you too, Barry.
Whose dead hand you pry that ring from?
You know it doesn't work that way. The ring chose me.
Even after you bailed on the Guardians to join the Sinestro Corps?
The Guardians locked me up. But they also trained me to overcome my fears. I earned the second chance they gave me.
The Guardians made a mistake.
Feels good to be green.
Hard to fight a red blur, isn't it? Losing momentum?